Hi, I'm W.H.O, and welcome to the news. Today I'll be talking to the OBJ. So, why aren't you wearing a mask?
Because I'm not ill, and besides that, they don't work.
I think you're mad. This virus is very deadly.
Not really. An infection to death rate is 0.004%. If you're under 70, 0.0026% if you had the over 70s.
It killed lots of people in Wuhan.
Well, Wuhan's been noted for its elderly population full of respiratory problems and terrible air pollution. It's a perfect place to declare a new pandemic. Plenty of scope to redesignate cases and deaths.
But what about all the people we saw dead in the street on the news?
Well, that would be China. It's propaganda. How many people have you seen dead in the street here? None.
Okay, but what about Italy?
Once again, Lombardy's terrible air quality in an elderly population full of respiratory problems, perfect for redesignation.
But I saw lots of people really ill in hospital in videos.
Well, that footage was proven to be fake.
But after the lockdown, cases in China plummeted.
Very convenient that. The first lockdown actually happened in a communist country where people had no rights and could then be presented to the rest of the world as a success.
But the World Health Organization declared a pandemic, right?
Well, the World Health Organization has massive ties, financial ties to Bill Gates, China and Big Pharma.
And what about the computer models that said we're all going to die?
Well, the models were produced by Neil Ferguson, who's since been relieved of his duties, and college is funded by Bill Gates, and they've got it wrong every time.
Yes, but that's because the lockdown saved us all.
No, they didn't. Japan had no lockdown. They've doubled the population of the UK, 122 million living in very densely packed cities, and they've had just over 1,000 deaths.
But the NHS was almost overrun. We had to build hospitals.
No, it wasn't. Not even for a minute. The field hospitals were never used and are now closed. Normal hospitals are empty, and hundreds of doctors and nurses are actually coming forwards and confirming this.
Okay, but the virus is very contagious.
Really? Who do you know's had it?
Boris and Prince Charles both had it.
Okay, two of the most protected men in the country. What are the chances?
Okay, what about all the hospital COVID cases back in April?
Most people were diagnosed on symptoms, flu-like symptoms.
Yes, but they test more people now.
Yes, with an inaccurate test that doesn't directly test for the virus. People who were never even tested have received calls saying that they have tested positive. Positive tests have come from fruit, oils and even goats.
Okay, what about the antibody tests?
Even worse. According to the CDC, it has trouble distinguishing between COVID-19 and other coronaviruses, including the common cold.
And what about the excess deaths?
What did you think would happen if you shut down half of the NHS and delayed treatments and diagnosis to seriously ill people?
But they say the deaths are down to COVID-19.
Many people were never even tested or given a post-mortem. Thousands of relatives of the deceased are complaining about falsified death certificates, and numbers are more than being adjusted.
Okay, and what about all the deaths in care homes?
That's what happens when they send elderly people with flu symptoms back to care homes full of vulnerable people and pressure as many people to sign do not resuscitate forms, all to protect the NHS, of course.
But the government wouldn't lie.
Really? Politicians don't lie, do they? Remind me, how many weapons of mass destruction were found in Iraq?
Okay, but why lie about this?
Many government advisory bodies such as Gavi, Sage, they have huge financial links to Bill Gates and Big Pharma.
Yes, but why would the BBC lie?
The BBC received millions from Bill Gates, and there are numerous cases of BBC lies historically.
And the rest of the media?
Well, the rest of the media is mostly owned by 1% who own Big Pharma. Plus bad news sells, Fair, Hysteria, they all sell.
But what do the governments gain?
Massively increased state control and a chance to implement massive social changes which we would never accept normally, as in Operation Lockstep.
What is Operation Lockstep?
Well, Operation Locksteps is a scenario modelled in 2010 by the Rockefellers, simulating how the state could gain increased powers and control following a global pandemic originating in China.
And what do pharma companies get from this?
They gain fast profits from largely untested vaccines. It's the only medicine you can sell to the healthy after all.
But surely the vaccine will be safe.
So why are all the pharmaceutical companies insisting on complete indemnity from compensation claims?
But Bill Gates wants to give us all a digital health record. Surely that's a good thing.
No, it means your lifestyle and travel will be restricted unless you have his vaccine.
But why would the government give us all this money?
They haven't given us anything. They've borrowed it from banks, and the taxpayer will pay back every penny with interest. The banks owned by the 1% will clean up once again.
So why aren't the doctors speaking out?
Hundreds of doctors are speaking out, but since Event 201 highlighted the need to control the media, social media, Google and YouTube, anything that contradicts the Gates-owned WHO version of events is deleted or censored. Over 630 worldwide experts are being censored for not following the WHO's version.
What is Event 201?
That was a Gates-funded exercise in October 2019, which just happened to simulate a worldwide coronavirus pandemic.
But Bill Gates is a good guy. He set up a charitable foundation.
Yeah, right. He got that idea from John Rockefeller. It's a perfect way to repair a poor public image, like Al Capone's soup kitchen for the poor.
No, he wants to help the world.
Food's cheap, isn't it? Sorry, I didn't catch that. It must be your mask. Why are you wearing that again?
The government and my TV told me to wear it. Anyway, and I don't want to infect you.
You won't. You're not ill. And I have an immune system which will protect me.
Yes, but I may be asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic transmission is highly unlikely, even according to the World Health Organization.
Well, at least I'll pay by cards because cash is dangerous.
But plastic wrap packages are fine.
Well, I'd better keep socially distant.
There's nothing social about distance.
But it's safer to be 2 meters apart.
Really? What scientific study was that based on? Do you know?
Okay, we have to be careful. There has been a spike in cases.
Yes, but hardly anyone is actually ill. There's under 1,000 people in hospital out of 66 million.
So why the spike?
Because they're testing more and more people with inaccurate tests to boost the numbers anyway that they can. Double counted cases have been admitted by the UK government.
Why would they want to do that?
To keep people afraid until the winter when the flu kicks in after everyone takes a flu jab. Therefore, give them more scope to redesignate deaths.
But why do they want us afraid?
So you will have to take the vaccine and won't ask questions.
Well, at least if we have the vaccine, it will be over.
No, it won't. They will tell you it's mutated, so you keep needing vaccine after vaccine.
So what do we do?
Take the mask off for a start and stand up for your rights. While you still have the chance, that is. Wake up and do your own research. If you believe there is a real pandemic, then sorry, there's just no helping you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That was the OBG.
'Cause you've been soft, sitting down, don't want to play.